the kids were having lunch, and my kids are usually like a very light eater lunch, so we're at my sister's and she will be like, but it's lunch, they have to eat, and like, they don't want to eat, but they have to eat. So when you have that cultural thing, you know, it's kind of hard.
Greetings from Motherland is an evolving community art project about becoming a mother. I work with different groups of women to create installations and projects drawing from our experience as mothers. For the Eagle Lights community, it's graduate student housing through the University of Wisconsin. And what's so interesting about the community is that people who live here come from all over the world.
My husband and I have lived in Eagle Heights for 3 years. The schools are close by here, the green space is here, the playgrounds are here. And then add onto that the layers of diversity, of culture, I think 60% is international, if not more. I think it's just a very rich community to live in. Well, Mindy wanted to do something about food and motherhood. And when we thought of doing it here in the gardens, we just said, let's do something where women can come share their stories. And once we share the stories, we'll come up with an idea of what we can do with this arbor.
I come US from China for my husband. I have 2 kids, 1 boy, 16 years old. he was born in China. She was born in US. My son is good eater, but she is a very, very bad eater. Yeah.
We're poor because in Laos we don't have money, we don't live in the city or out of the country. So whatever they put on the table, we eat, you know, and we should just be happy for whatever we get to eat, really. My kids, they're really picky eaters, but it's because we're living in a different society. Yeah. For my middle son, he's 3. It's almost like we're always in a battle when we eat. Like, always constantly have to like, please eat, you need this.
Basically, Mindy and I said, we'll come up with some kind of vision and go with it. And almost immediately, probably in those first few weeks of planning, we said a table. Let's make a tablecloth and then have women tell their stories to create their own plates or place settings. We weren't really sure what would evolve from that.
For this project, we're mostly doing cyanotyping, which is a type of photographic process in which you develop images in the sun. And I don't think any of the women had done this before.
I think it's just amazing. It's really fun to not be an artist, but to be able to be creative. And I also really enjoy just talking and listening to other women's experiences of motherhood.
It'll be fun.
So I was thinking maybe the different shades might look actually nice.
Yeah, because there's lots of different shades.
Yeah.
Some of these are darker.
Exactly, and some of them are lighter.
And
So.
the tablecloth looks amazing.
Community art is both a process and a product. But basically the point of it is to erase that boundary a little bit between art and life and give people an opportunity to make art that's about their own lives and telling stories about their own communities.
Imagine that if this is your child's first exposure to art, how wonderful that would be to see this floating table in a garden, and you can teach them that, yes, this is art, this is telling a story, someone worked on this.
I know what you are, my friend, and where you're going to. I see the light in you, whispered out into the gloom. It changes the heart of everyone. It changes the heart of everyone. Oh, 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 oh.
beautiful. I like this all kinds of arts project. It's for me, it's new. I learned from this group.
That's what makes it wonderful having a group class. Everybody has a different sense of balance and what's beautiful. So you can see mine is very busy and some of the others are more sparse. It was great. I love to be able to look at this and say, I made that.
It's a beautiful arbor and a beautiful space, and I think we've created something in it that draws people in and makes them think and showcases the garden, showcases some of the things that people are growing in the garden, and makes people think about the connection between the garden and eating and family.
So this one says, how does your approach to feeding your family compare to how you were raised? And there's different ones. I think there's another napkin that says, what are the pleasures of mealtime? What are the burdens of mealtime in your house? We're asking people that will just come in from the public to give us their own stories and share their own thoughts on the participatory wall. The pleasure of the family mealtime have to be the yum yum noises the boys make when they are eating. They are teenagers now, but the sounds they make are from childhood. Thanks for coming. It's so cool that people will share.
I just love it. I think that the more community activity can happen right in this space, this is, literally and metaphorically the hub of the garden. The connections that happen here are amazing.
I give it all to you, 'cause everything you are, you give to me.